Hey guys, this is just a video about surface area. I got a bunch of questions about understanding how these formulas work, so I thought I would just explain them. So let's start with the cylinder. So the surface area just means you're trying to find the area of each surface on the three-dimensional object. So for example, if you have a cylinder, that was a horrible drawing. The top and the bottom of the cylinder are both circles. So the top part and the bottom part are both circles. So to find the area of a circle, it is pi r squared. So this part is just letting you know that the area of the base, this guy right here, is pi r squared. And then we have the lateral surface, which means this part in the middle. So the lateral surface of a cylinder, if you were to actually open the cylinder up, the lateral surface is actually a rectangle where the length of the rectangle is actually equal to the circumference of the circle, so 2 pi r, and the width of the rectangle is called the height. So that's why the lateral surface, which means this surface, like the sides, is equal to 2 pi r h. Because it's like length times width, basically. 2 pi r times h. So these are just letting you know like the two parts of a surface area formula. And then when you put the whole formula, when you put the whole formula together, well, it turns out you have two circles in a cylinder. So 2 pi r squared, plus you have the lateral surface, 2 pi r h. So the total surface area is this one down here. That's the formula you would need if you're calculating the surface area of an entire cylinder. Okay, let's try the cube. So the cube's easy because it has 6 sides and they're all the same dimensions. And the dimensions of each side are b times b, which would be b squared. And since there's 6 sides, the formula is just 6 times b squared. All right, let's look at the cone. Okay, so the cone has a base that is a circle. So that formula is pi r squared, just for the circle. Then the lateral surface of a cone, its formula is pi r times s. S is like the slant height of the cone. So pi times radius times the slant height will give you the surface area of like this part, the lateral surface. And then if you just add the lateral surface plus the circle together, you will get the total area of the whole cone. Pi r squared plus pi r s. Okay, then square-based pyramid. So the base of a square-based pyramid is a square, and you would calculate the area doing base squared. And then, actually, I'll use, there's also 4 triangles on the square-based pyramid. So each side of a square-based pyramid, so there's 4 of them, they're all triangles. And to calculate the area of a triangle, we would do base. We're calling the height. The height is being called S for like the slant height. So for an area of a triangle of the square-based pyramid, we would do base times side divided by 2 for a triangle. So that's how they got the triangle surface area. But then there's 4 of those triangles. So if there's 4 of them, you have to multiply that formula by 4. And 4 times base times side divided by 2 could be simplified to 2 base times side if you just do 4 divided by 2. So that's where they get that part from. So that's the 4 triangles. And then, of course, your base, that's a square, is base squared. So this is the formula for the entire surface area of the square-based pyramid. Okay, rectangular prism. So rectangular prism has 6 sides. So it has pretty much like 3 sets of sides that are the same. So these sides that are across from each other here, the top and the bottom, they are the length times the width. So you have 2 length times widths because you have this one and you have this one. Then you also have this rectangle, like the front one right here. And the back one will actually be identical to that one. So those two, so this front one and then this back one would be height times length. So height times length, and we multiply it by 2. And then finally you have the sides, which would be equal to height times width. And you have the same one on the back here. So those are equal to width times height. And you have 2 of them. So that's how you get this formula. Basically, you're finding the area of those 3 sides, and then you're multiplying it by 2 because you have 2 of them. Okay, and then finally we have our triangle-based prism. So the base are triangles, which we calculate the area of a triangle by doing base times length divided by 2, or if you called that the height. I mean, you can label the sides anything you want. And then we also have on a triangular prism, we have 3 rectangles. So we have this bottom one, we also have this one, and then we also have this one. So the 3 rectangles are A times H, B times H, and C times H. If you just label the sides A, C, and B. So when you get the total formula for surface area of a triangular prism, you have base times length, which is actually the 2 triangles. Because like you're multiplying that formula by 2 because you have 2 of them. So it turns into base times length. And then these are the 3 rectangles. So like when you're doing A times H, that would give you this rectangle. And then when you're doing B times H, you would have B times H. So that would give you the front rectangle. And then finally, when you have C times H, that would give you that rectangle. So that's how these formulas work on your formula sheet. They tell you the formula for like each part of the shape, and then the bottom one tells you the total for the whole entire shape. Okay, I hope that kind of makes sense.